Welcome to World in 2 Minutes. These are your headlines. The United States says it has indications that Russia has begun launching airstrikes in Syria. Early on Wednesday, the Russian parliament approved military action in Syria against ISIS. But President Vladimir Putin said he'd only authorize airstrikes. Syrian President Bashar Al-Assad announced he'd asked for help. Russia is one of Assad's few allies. Meanwhile, local sources have accused Russia of carrying out airstrikes in Homs and Hama provinces. The provinces are currently under the control of rebel groups that don't belong to ISIS. State media report that there have been explosions throughout the city of Liuzhou. Police say they happened at public buildings, including a hospital, bus station, and a government dormitory. At least 3 people have been killed and 13 injured. The state broadcaster said the explosives had been sent by mail. NATO special forces have arrived in Kunduz to provide ground support for Afghan forces. Fighting between those forces and the Taliban is now in its 3rd day. The US carried out 2 airstrikes near the airport, and the Pentagon says soldiers are in the city to support the Afghan army. The Taliban raided Kunduz early on Monday. It's the first provincial capital the Taliban has captured since it lost power when the US invaded Afghanistan 14 years ago. The state of Georgia has executed the only woman on its death row, even though the Roman Catholic pontiff, Pope Francis, had asked for a stay of execution. Kelly Renee Gisandana was the first woman put to death in the state in 70 years. She's also the first so-called non-trigger person Georgia executed in almost 40 years. Gisandana was on death row because she'd had her boyfriend kill her husband. On Tuesday, the US Supreme Court had denied her applications for clemency. Thanks for watching. TRTworld.com, Istanbul.